Ramblin man here. Alright, so I should be in bed right now, but instead I'm making this video because there's certain things in life when you get to a point like I said, this whole channel started based off of the fact that I like to talk a lot, and if you know me, you know that's true. And I'm past the point of like, hey, subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy the content, which I'm going to be all over the place, I'm not going to sit on one topic, because what that does for me, I don't want to be labeled by, hey, he only talks about this, he only talks about that. But right now, I'm going to talk about George Floyd. And you'll want to hear this, whether you agree with me or disagree, you'll want to hear about it. So let me just tell you. So let me pull this up a little bit so you can see my eyes, because that bothers me, so I know it probably bothers you. You know, you never want to see someone lose their life, okay? It's just not something that people are like, yeah, I would like to see someone lose their life. Yes, you have times that you are angry at someone, not happy at the way they did something or how they did things, or who they are. But I, for one, never wish death on anyone. Now, how George Floyd died, there's a couple things. I know that the stuff with Derek Chauvin, I know he should be punished, and that's out of my hands. That has to do with the court system as far as what his sentences are, all that stuff. It's my belief that it wasn't all Chauvin's doing, but he should have never been on the man's neck for so long, okay? It had a lot to do with the drugs he was taking, and he's asking to get, y'all know the story. He asked to get moved out of the car because he couldn't breathe, he was feeling claustrophobic. They moved him out, put him on the ground, and it went downhill from there. That being said, now you're going to hear a lot of my opinion tonight, because I heard them a while ago talking about it's all over the place, because today is the 1-year anniversary of his death, okay? And the part that got me was not that people said, you know what, I would like to look forward to, it started a whole movement, this whole thing of police brutality, which got blown out of proportion, so that now police officers can't do their job even correctly because of the fact that they're worried. There's videos out there with a black man with a gun walking around, and the cops don't shoot him because he's asking, go shoot me, and they're like, no, put your gun down. At any moment, bam, he could kill them. But they don't shoot. Why? Because they don't want to be made a martyr on freaking TV. That's the point we're at right now. So it puts police in a predicament where, in a situation that they're just not comfortable doing their job like they're supposed to. And what's going to happen is people are going to be like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives, because that's what they're yelling the whole time that they're facing off with this guy. And had the police shot him, it would have been justified, because he has a weapon in his hand and it's pointed in any direction. I told him multiple times they could have shot him and it would have been justified. But they did not, because they were more scared of being crucified by the media. Here's what's going to happen, though. Because of this situation, police officers are going to die. It's just the honest truth. They're going to die. What's going to happen is, at some point, they'll be scared to shoot. Their reaction time is going to be slower, because they're not going to pull that trigger like they should when they get aimed upon. And what's going to happen is police officers are going to die. And that is a sad, sad thing, because of the way of what we've done with this culture, making it all about making it look like police brutality all the time. Every situation is not police brutality, people. I'll tell you this much: if you quit breaking the law, white, black, I don't care what color you are, quit breaking the freaking law. And if you're already being arrested, just comply, get in handcuffs, do your thing. Quit fighting. If you're innocent, it shouldn't be a big deal. All right, put the handcuffs on me, put me in the car. When they figure it out that I haven't done anything, they'll let me go. But all this stuff thinking, what's happened though is over this last year, all these different things that have gone on, now we've made it so that people are feeling like, you know what, screw you, cop, I ain't doing this. You've seen so many different instances now where they treat cops with disrespect. And you see people F12 talking about kill the, F the cops. F law enforcement, the 12th letter of the alphabet. F12, F you pigs. I'm telling you guys, I'm beside myself. I'm keeping it calm right now because earlier I was pissed. And I'll tell you why. You have that, everything I've already just told you. But a while ago, they're I think it's ABC or something. They're talking about celebrating or remembering on the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. And this little girl, his daughter, I don't know her name, whatever, the one that Biden talks about, she came up and gave me a big old hug. Oh, good job, Biden, way to go. And they're just using these people to push out there like, this is what we're about. If they really cared about people and things that are going on, they would try to end black on black crime and all these children being killed all the time and drive-bys and accidental shootings, road raids that are happening, and 6-year-olds dying on the highway in California. But none of that's mentioned. No, it's only about George Floyd. And why is George Floyd the person they chose? I do not know. Here's what I have a problem with. So little girl said, okay, say it. Remember his name. And then everybody says, George, or say his name, George Floyd. It was so scripted and terrible at the White House. And then they were going to the Capitol Hill. It's just a show, is all this is. It's a dadgum circus. It is a circus. The part that pisses me off the most is this line right here. They said as they were doing all these things, they're doing all the remembering and stuff, they said they're remembering the life and legacy of George Floyd. Let's talk about the legacy of George Floyd. He's the same guy that held a pregnant woman with a gun to her belly. Same guy that took drugs prior to being arrested. Same guy that tried to do a $20 counterfeit, which got all this started in the first place, right? He's sitting in the car with his drug dealer, or you can call him whatever you want to. The guy that gave him the drugs, that would be called a dealer, or a friend that just gave him more than he should have taken. And he had a lethal amount of drugs in his body. So whether Derek Chauvin killed him or not, the man was going to die unless he was treated, and I don't know that would have happened. We don't know because we didn't get to see that because he was on his neck and then he dies, right? So, but his legacy is he was a criminal. We as a nation, I say we, I'm not including myself because I'm not going to put myself out there with morons, I'll call it like it is, morons that make George Floyd a hero. You want a hero? I have friends that have served in the Middle East, all overseas, across different places. I have friends that have lost limbs. I've had friends that I've lost in war. Those are heroes. George Floyd is no hero. He is a stepping stone for a movement that I feel lost all its... It's so stupid. Black Lives Matter did not help the black community. Black Lives Matter flies flags around. Let's think about what happened. George Floyd is killed. And what happens as they're going through? Everyone starts I say everyone. There were a lot of peaceful protests, but then there are a lot of riots, looting, and there's a certain block there on in Minneapolis, the building was burnt to the ground. Now what's there? A park with the Black Lives Matter flag on top of it. So the Black Lives Matter movement, all those people, burnt the building to the ground, but then they're going to build a park on top of it. Yeah. You burn it, and then you go ahead and build a park on it. Let's put that in perspective. So I have a bad experience. One of my family members is killed downtown. So I go downtown and I burn the building down, and then I build a park up and put it in my family member's name. The thing wrong with that is that why would it be okay to burn a place down? What are you doing? So by taking, it's like saying I'm going to, people have died in these riots, okay? So you're going to kill other people. So it could have been that George Floyd died, right? Then people go and protest police brutality, but they don't loot, riot, and do all this violence. And what do you have? George Floyd died. It starts a movement. No, this starts, George Floyd died. Then it starts a movement. People are dying. All these riots turn into stuff. Then you have things blow out of proportion. Then you have all these people back and forth. You got Kyle Rittenhouse over there shooting people because everybody's carrying guns to these things, and then one's chasing one shoots this guy, It all started a chain reaction of stupidity is what it did. But to put George Floyd on a pedestal up here, that's embarrassing. Say what you want. You know what? People are going to come on here. Well, I say that. People are probably not going to watch my video. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to watch my video, and some people are going to be like, yes, I agree with that. Other people are going to say, oh, Jeremy, you're a racist. I am not a racist at all. This has nothing to do with the people of color. This has everything to do with, if it was just about police brutality, you wouldn't bring up when a black person dies. You would bring up any time a person dies. But that's not what the issue is. The issue is it's being pushed, and Biden and all that craziness up there. Oh yeah, I want to do this. We have an issue with the border right now, but that's not even, we have all these people coming in, just flooding over, and nothing's being done about that. But we have enough time to, you know what, we're going to celebrate the life of a criminal, George Floyd. Guys, he has no legacy. His legacy, he was a piece of crap that happened to die at just the right time, right place for people to start marching. Let's be honest. You want a real person that stood up for people of color? That was Martin Luther King Jr. His death was because he was assassinated, and he was a heck of a guy. He was the guy that people, when you think about the movement for civil rights, you think about Martin Luther King Jr. You don't think about a criminal. But people right now, they don't even mention Martin Luther King Jr. They're talking all about George Floyd. Oh, he had to die to help us make... Man, they just use his death as a catapult to fuel their agenda. I don't care what you say about me. You can come at me all day. You're not going to change my mind. Because here's the thing. I love all people. We're Americans. We have to get past this stupid division that we have in America right now. We have a division because why? Because the left likes it that way. Because it helps to fuel any fire, anything that they have going right now for what they want written in their narrative. This is exactly what they want. They want the division because why? If they can get everybody on their side, they can control government. Government should stop having control over all these different things. I'm so tired of the government controlling things that, I'm ready for Texas, because that's where I live. I'd be just fine if we secede. And I served in the United States Army. I'm telling you right now, I am a proud American. But the direction we're going right now, I am not proud about that. I feel like when you start putting people like Cardi B as Women of the Year, when you're talking about different things like that, why wouldn't you have someone else that made a difference? Candace Owens has done more for the black community, and people are going to say, no, she didn't, because they don't know. You don't know enough information to put yourself out there in a way that, you know what? This woman is trying to bring light to the fact that with knowledge is power. And she has a lot of knowledge out there. if you listen to her, you'll notice how she should probably be Woman of the Year in place of Cardi B. And this all happened to the Grammys and stuff. And then the people we put on pedestals, LeBron James, I think people are starting to figure out LeBron James is a piece of crap. And yeah, he'll say, I'm more than just an athlete. No, you're really not, bro. That's all you are, as an athlete. You are just an athlete. You open your mouth at the worst times and show your ignorance. I don't care if you make millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't make you better than the average American. Once you understand that, then you can just sit down and shut up. Because right now, the way it is you have people sounding off that have no idea what they're talking about. None whatsoever. None. I told you I was going to give you my opinion here. If it bothers you, I hope you respond. I don't know that I'll respond. I'm not going to go back and forth, because what I've learned is ignorance, you can't argue with ignorance. I can only tell you what I know, and at that point, I got to leave it and just let you think you're right. Because here's what's, if you have a social justice warrior, they're going to fight you tooth and nail to the death, and they will not give in even when they're wrong. It's like someone on PCP. If they're dead, they don't even know they're dead yet. Same difference. If they're wrong, they don't even know. I'm just telling you guys. If you are one of those people right now going, George Floyd was a hero, I don't have a lot of respect for you. Because you obviously have not really looked into who he is as a person. He was a stepping stone for a movement that has really done nothing for the black community except separate them. If you like segregation, that's great. I don't. I like all of us together. I like all of us integrated. If you're American, we all need to be put together. Because everywhere I work, when I go to work, I have all different races, genders, everything around me. In life, all around me. And I have no problem with these people. But it's amazing to me that, some of the hot spots, the large cities that have a lot of liberals moving in from different states, California, New York, things like that. Like Houston has some issues in Texas, but the rest of the state, we don't see the problems we're having like up in Minnesota, New York, California, Portland, Oregon. Those are 4 places that are just steaming with all kinds of protests and stupidity. Now, I know I went long on here. Hope you stayed around. I don't really care. I'm not worried. I'm not monitoring my time anymore. I'm going to say what I will need to say. If you watched it all, great. If you didn't, that's up to you. I hope you join me in the fact that, you know what? This needs to be a turning point. We don't need a 2nd year anniversary of George Floyd, a 3rd year anniversary. We have the 20th year anniversary of 9/11. Do you think Biden is going to have the bunch of those people from their families from the 9/11, from the towers? You think he'll have them at the White House? No, because it doesn't do anything for his agenda. Mark my words, there won't be a person there for the 20th year anniversary. I don't know what they'll do. But I remember being in the Army at the time that 9/11 happened. And you want to know heroes? That would be every one of those firefighters, those police officers, those first responders all over the place. A lot of them losing their lives, being on the scene while everyone's running away, they're rushing in. And you want to know a little secret? They were all different colors. Didn't matter color. There are people helping black people, people helping Asians, brown. It did not matter what color someone was. At that point, everyone was an American, and people came together for that. I'm tired of the division. It's time to move forward in a better way. Please take this video, subscribe to my channel, but take this video, send it to everybody that you know, and let's get the word out there. It is time for change. Let's do it, people. I'm tired. So tired. Let's make America great again. Ramblin' Man out.